So a while back, I'm listening to a podcast from a great trainer named Dave Anderson, and he quoted some lyrics from a Pearl Jam song called Yellow Ledbetter. It's one of my favorite songs, and the lyrics are tremendous, but one lyric in particular was, "I don't know whether I'm the boxer or the bag." And I thought long and hard about that because ultimately in life, that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be the boxer and not the bag. So I came up with the 6 keys to making sure you stay the boxer. So let's talk about number 1. Number 1 is stay in condition. And being in condition is a mind-body. They help each other, they connect to each other, and you can't have a healthy mind without a healthy body and vice versa. And the thing that I can point to when you talk about mind is really mindset. There's some great leaders and people out there that talk about mindset. David Goggins is one of them. Cameron Hayes is another one. But Carol Dweck nailed it in the book, Growth Mindset. And what she pointed out was when we're awake, we're either in a fixed mindset or growth mindset. And ultimately, we get to choose the mindset that we want to be in. So you want to be really cognizant of that mindset and try and be in growth the majority of the time. So I would highly suggest to read that book to get some additional details. And part of mindset is having an attitude of gratitude, focusing on what's right and what's wrong. You know, the problem with high achievers and A-type personalities is we tend to focus on the 1 or 2 things that are wrong instead of the 50 that are right. It's what makes us great, but it's also what makes most achievers miserable. So we really got to learn to have an attitude of gratitude. What I would suggest is on your phone, download a notes list, and on that notes list, you want to be able to have a specific list of things that you're grateful for that you can read each and every day. And of course, you got body. Now, part of having a healthy body is balance. And you know, there's some people that look good but don't feel good, and there's some people that feel good but don't look good. There's some people that can lift a lot of heavy weights but they have no endurance. You want to have a tremendous amount of balance in your total health. And so the keys are nutrition, supplements, aerobics, weights, hydration, and sleep. Now on nutrition, everybody knows what they should be eating. Should be lean meat, should be vegetables. If you're vegan, should be adherent to a whole plant food diet on the vegan side. But ultimately, for most people, it's not a knowing problem, it's a doing problem. So if we can get focused on putting the right foods in our body 24/7, our body's going to be able to perform. Supplementation, as clean as we eat, as well as we eat, as well planned as our meals are, we're not going to be able to get all the supplements we need. So you want to figure out what your body needs, and you know, there's a lot of great information out there. Ben Greenfield has a tremendous podcast that I would highly recommend with a boatload of information on that. Dr. Peter Attia has a great podcast as well. On aerobics, we have to get some movement in. Aerobic is being able to do a workout and still be able to talk. So that would be walking, that would be biking, that would be a slow jog, that would be swimming. Weightlifting, we all know muscle burns fat. And no matter how old you are, if you could get in 4 to 5 days a week of a half hour to 40 minutes of weight training, it's going to do your body good. And what people got to realize is it's not what you weigh, it's how your clothes fit. So don't worry if you put on a couple pounds of muscle, because ultimately that muscle is going to burn fat. Hydration. Majority of the people walking around our country right now are dehydrated. They don't drink enough water, their body is reacting negatively, and they don't even realize it. You know, the only thing you should really be putting in your body all day long is clean water. And then sleep. There's been study after study that sleep, it runs down your testosterone, it produces lack of sleep, produces cortisol, it puts you in a fight or flight state. You have to make sure that you schedule your 6.5 to 8.5 hours of sleep per night and make sure you do it the right way. You know, we all know rapid eye movement is really what you need to get into that deep state. And I will tell you this, for all the people that think having 2 or 3 glasses of wine or a cocktail at night, when you drink alcohol, it will prevent you from getting REM sleep. Number 2, if you want to be the boxer and not the bag, You gotta have a title worth fighting for. Some people call this your why or life purpose. I don't know what it is for you, whether it's your family or charity or kids or you like to contribute to the world. Mine is, I dominate the business world, I nurture my body and mind, and I inspire greatness in my friends, family, and teammates. I have a defined life purpose. So when I'm doing the things that are involved in what my purpose are, I'm happy. I feel good. I feel like I contributed. I'm living within who I am and what I stand for. So if you can't rattle off your why or your life purpose, I would strongly suggest you take a couple minutes and define it and write it down, and more importantly, be able to talk it. Because I say my life purpose to myself a minimum of 15 to 20 times a day. So understand your why, understand your life purpose. Number 3, if you want to beat a boxer and not the bag, you got to know when to duck. So knowing when to duck is to avoid negativity. And that negativity is everywhere, it's prevalent. So why invite that negativity into your home? So what I'm talking about is the people you surround yourself with. It may be your spouse, it may be your best friend, it may be your coworkers. It's the people you spend the most time with. What I advocate is not to cut relationships and cut marriages and destroy your girlfriend or boyfriend or eliminate that relationship. What I'm talking about is helping them realize what you already know, because if you weren't watching this video right now, you want to get better. That's why you're looking at this information. So you got to share that with them. They probably never had a mentor. They probably never had a life coach. They never probably had somebody that inspired them or taught them or showed them how to go on YouTube and look at inspirational videos or how to listen to podcasts or how to download audio books. All right, so a lot of the problems that we have and the negativity are really self-inflicted, and the biggest self-inflicted problems that we have come from TV. How many people park in front of CNN, Fox News, CNBC for 3-4 hours a night? It doesn't matter what your political view is, it's toxic. It doesn't do you any good. All you're going to hear is arguments and talking points back and forth all day long. So be very cognizant of avoiding the negative people and the negativity that's on TV. What you should be watching on TV is streaming YouTube up on TV and looking at inspirational seminars and coaches and listening and watching people that are getting after it every day. That's the kind of stuff you want to fill your time with and your brain with. Number 4, if you want to beat a boxer and not the bag, you got to learn how to counterpunch. Because you're going to get punched in the face from life. There's no doubt about it. It's going to happen. Happens every day. You're going to have trials. You're going to have tribulations. You got to take and have all the tools in your arsenal to make sure that you can deal with it. The first thing I would point out is the power of identity. Identity is who you are, and what you stand for. And your identity is the belief of how you feel about yourself. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're a coach or a contributor, whether you're a caring individual, whether you're a business person or CEO, or whether you're a speaker, or whether you're a motivator, or whether you're an influencer, it really doesn't matter. That's your identity. And for the majority of the people that are having a tough time in life right now, the problem is the identity that they have for themselves. So you really want to take a hard look at that, because we have something called a subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind will feed the self-talk and the information based on the identity we have for ourselves. I hope that makes sense. But so if your identity is you're a loser, you never make it, no matter what you try, it's never going to work, and this is how you are, and this is how you were raised, and this is how you were brought up, and that's what our family is, and we're never going to be any better. When you ask yourself a question, why does this happen to me? Your subconscious mind will literally give you the self-talk of, because you don't deserve it, because you're a dummy, because you're not smart enough, you're not educated enough, you don't have enough money. So you really want to be really cognizant of that identity and the identity you set for yourself. And the great news about identity is you can choose to change it at any time. Tony Robbins really taught me a lot about that, but there's a fellow right on YouTube right now named Ed Milet. If you go to YouTube on search Ed Milet Identity, Ed gives a great 23-minute talk on it, and it would be really good information for you guys. And then what you want to do is you want to learn how to counterpunch. You want to biohack your own system. And what I'm specifically talking about that is nootropics. You want to put yourself in a position where mentally, physically we know what to do now. Mentally, we want to make sure that we have all the things that we need. Now, when I talk about biohacks and nootropics, there's stuff called anasartan. Anasartan will enhance your learning and cognitive abilities. There's a herb called ashwagandha, which is probably the single best thing that you could take each and every day. It helps your central nervous system, it helps with stress and anxiety, but it's an overall tonic for your body. Another one's L-theanine, which is an amino acid. Like when you drink green tea, you notice you don't get shaky when you drink green tea. When you drink coffee, you don't have that because theanine is not in coffee. So literally, theanine is Valium. So theanine is nature's Valium without the side effects. So some other products I would recommend, and you could get all these on Amazon, guys, is Genius Consciousness, which is a full blend nootropic. It's absolutely great formulation, doesn't upset your stomach, makes you feel good. Another Genius product is called Joy, which has some natural substances in there to make you actually feel better. And then the last one I would mention is a product called True Niagen, which helps you age better, and it helps your body produce what's called NAD. There's no real way to get NAD in your body except an intravenous injection, which is very painful, and I highly wouldn't recommend that. You just take True Niagen each and every day. And then the fuel that your body needs, we talk about what you should be drinking every day and hydration. You should be drinking water every day, but more importantly, you should have water mixed into a bottle similar to a Yeti, and in that bottle, just put in a company name On has essential amino acids, which also have electrolytes in it. They have watermelon flavor, grape flavor, 3 scoops of that, a little bit of ice, a little bit of water, put in a couple scoops of glutamine, which is an amino acid that helps your gut, it helps cravings, it's real good for you. And then for those that believe in ketosis, you can even put in some powdered ketones in that. Drink 2 or 3 of them per day, guys. It keeps your body hydrated, you have the energy you need, it's giving your body the chemicals that it needs to be able to perform, and you'll feel a whole lot better and a whole lot stronger. Number 5, if you want to be the boxer and not the bag, you have to rest between rounds. It's a big one, because hard chargers, people that are extremists, we all hear you got to fight till you die, you got to stay and work all night, you got to sleep on a cot, you got to put in the hours, sleep is for babies. I will tell you that you have to have balance in your life. The biggest problem with achievers is they implode. They develop alcohol problems, drug problems, gambling problems, womanizer, all sorts of problems, because they tend to do everything to the extreme. So what you want to do is you want to learn to have balance. And part of achieving is to pat yourself on the back and celebrate small successes. So you want to take your vacations. It doesn't do anybody a bit of good if you pass on your vacation that you earn a couple times a year. It's not going to make you better in people's eyes. Matter of fact, it's going to hinder you because you're going to be tired and depleted. So take your vacations. Make sure you do your date nights if you have children. Make sure one night every 2 weeks or one night a week, you get a babysitter, you plan a night out, you get your better half some flowers, you go to a great restaurant, you stop off and have a drink someplace where you do something that makes you guys happy. Do nature walks, go biking together. Myself and my fiance, we put the bikes on the back of the car, go to the causeway, we bike it for an hour and 15 minutes. She has her headphones on, I have mine on, but we're out in nature, it feels good, we're doing something together, and then we feel accomplished. And then, as I mentioned before, guys, is sleep. You gotta make sure that you're resting between rounds and you're getting the sleep that you need. Now, deep breathing, meditation, REM sleep, All those things are vital. You want to learn how to breathe. You want to learn how to meditate. 10 or 15 minutes of meditation will do the world of good for you. A lot of people that I listen to have routines, and those routines in the mornings involve getting up, taking a cold shower, 10 minutes or 15 minutes of meditation, 10 or 15 minutes of gratitude work, and leaving their phone down and putting themselves in a position where they're able to attack the day. A lot of hard chargers have a problem shutting off your mind at night. There's a military doctor named Doc Parsley that came up with a substance called Sleep Remedy. And it's a packet. You do hot water at night, put the packet in, drink it like a tea. It tastes good. 30 minutes later, you'll be able to lay your head on the pillow, get some REM, and then make sure that you're fueled and ready for the next day. And then the last one, number 6, if you want to be the boxer and not the bag, you got to finish the fight. Everyone's going to be tired going into the last round. Everyone's going to be exhausted. Everyone's going to feel like quitting. It happens to everybody. Winston Churchill said it, if you're going through hell, keep going. Everyone's going to have trials and tribulations. Nobody cares. Work harder. Everyone's going to have their things and their personal items in their life currently that are a problem. Everyone has them. So what you got to understand is that the majority of the people quit when they're on the 15-yard line headed into the end zone. They just don't know it yet. They quit and then they regret it for the rest of their lives. One thing that I've learned, guys, I've had my ups and downs. I've been at the top of the mountain and been knocked off. I've been up there again and got knocked off. I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to relent. I'm going to keep charging. I'm going to keep swinging. I'm going to keep fighting. And for those that need a little bit of more motivation on that, read David Goggins' new book, Can't Hurt Me. Incredible, true story of his life and what the man has accomplished. It will definitely put you in a position where you're going to achieve your potential. And really, what you think you can do and what you can actually do are so different, it's unbelievable. But you want to put yourself in a position where you take a deep breath. And sometimes, guys, I would rest instead of quit. Because there's sometimes where people are just down and out and hard on themselves and can't take anymore. Take a day off. Go on a weekend trip. Go kayaking. Take a deep breath, but don't quit. My advice to you is you look at any great achiever out there. Everybody looks at where they're at right now. Very few look at the pain and anguish and suffering that person went to. How many sleepless nights they had. How many relationships were strained. The issues that they went through to get to where they ultimately want to be. The common denominator is suffering. So my advice to you, no matter what you're in, no matter what you're involved in right now, even if you're not sure if it's the right thing you should be in. That's all your mind. That's all the pollution from your subconscious mind coming in. That's your inner critic that's talking to you and telling you to go ahead and throw the towel in. I will tell you this, never throw the towel in. Keep swinging, but more importantly, be the boxer, not the bag, and leave it all in the damn ring.